So you want to make your own wedding confetti cones. In this video, I'll show you 3 different ways to make them. The first one is absolutely dead simple. You just want a paper doily like this, and it's going to give you a really nice lacy finish without having to use any cutting machines or anything complicated. All you need is your doily and some double-sided tape. I'm putting one piece on here, but I do recommend putting another little bit on right up to that nice curved edge, and then it'll just stick even better. So take your protective paper off and then roll it up. Oh, hang on, I seem to have 2 here. Not to worry, let's put that to the side. So just roll it up so you get that nice point at the bottom. And just keep rolling it and make sure you don't get onto your tape until you're happy with your cone shape. And then press it down gently, put your fingers inside, and there you go. You've got your first confetti cone. Drop your confetti in, and away you go. If you prefer something with a little bit more substance, if you don't want it quite so dainty and lacy, if that doesn't fit with your theme, how about taking a square of paper? I'm using a book page, but you can use anything. And just make sure it's square, and you're going to roll that into a cone. Now, as you can see, I've got a border there, so I want that one hidden. So I'm going to roll it the other way. So just check which way you want to roll it before you put your tape on. So then again, we're back to the good old double-sided tape. Just run it down one edge. I don't recommend going right to the point because sometimes it can be a little bit fiddly in the bottom. So just leave a little gap at the bottom. And then once again, you're going to take your protective cover off and roll that cone. And just take a few minutes to roll it so that you're happy with it, and then press that tape down. And as you can see, another super easy cone. It's just got a little bit more substance to it. And then you can just drop your confetti in and make as many as you want for your wedding. They're really good with book pages, but you can use any paper that matches your theme. Here's a giant one I made using a star chart. The third one is using this template. Now there's a link in the description below, and it should be on the screen now as well. And you can download it free and print it off from my website. And then just cut the template out. And then whatever paper you're using, I'm using this nice scrapbook paper with bees on. You're just going to put it on the back of your paper and draw around it. Now you might want to use this if you want a more curved edge on the top of your cones. If you've got quite a strong theme going on that's very curved, you might want this type. Just make sure you cut inside your pencil line, and then there'll be no marks that you have to rub out. Now, especially if you're using a thick paper or a thin card, just try rolling it first and making sure you're happy. And then you'll not be surprised to learn we're going back to the double-sided tape, right on the edge. Not quite down to the point, but not far away. And again, you're going to take your protective film off and roll into the cone. As with the others, just make sure you're completely happy with the shape of your cone before you let that tape touch the paper. Because if it does and you try and open it, it'll rip your paper. So you can see I'm not quite happy. I'm just going to get that point right at the bottom. And then once you're happy, stick it down. And you can see that's a really nice curved top. Just a little bit more sophisticated if that's what you're looking for. And again, we're back to dropping the confetti in. Now, I did say earlier that we'd look at making your own confetti. So let's look at some of the bits of confetti that we've made. So first of all, I'll just show you the 3 cones we've made, and you can see them side by side. So the confetti that I've been showing you, some of it is nice shapes cut using either a cutting machine or a punch. And you can do that, but obviously it's going to take you quite a long time. But another way of doing this, just with the tissue paper, is to just rip your tissue paper up into small pieces. Obviously it's nice and biodegradable, but just check your venue allows it. Another popular way of using confetti now is to use dried flowers. These are rose petals from an old bunch of flowers that I dried myself. You can use them whole or you can rip them up. And I just put them on some kitchen paper in the microwave and cooked them until they were dry. That simple. And then whatever you've chosen to use, pop them in your cones. So let's look at some embellishments. A lovely way of embellishing them is adding little tags, which of course you can add any message you like to. Now, if you're using a thin paper, I suggest you do what I'm doing here, which is make it a few layers thick. If you're using card, you'll not need to do this little step. And you're just going to make cute little tags. Don't make them too big. So if you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up so it spreads to more brides-to-be and we can fill the whole world with confetti cones. And then once you've got the shape that you want, you're just going to cut those top corners off to turn it into what we call a traditional tag shape. Now, if you find at this point it's not quite the shape you wanted, you could always cut the sides down. And that's what I'm doing here. But once you're making a production line, you just want to make sure they're all made the same way. Then obviously we're going to need a hole. So you're just going to have to get a hole punch. You can use a double hole punch, just the same, just only using one hole of it. And get that hole. And then if you're doing something like the book pages, I really do recommend getting an ink pad that coordinates with your wedding theme and just rubbing the edges. It just really finishes them off and makes it look, well, nicer, I suppose. And you could put stickers on these, perhaps with the date on or the names or whatever you wanted. And then you can simply glue it to your cone, or you can put it on a ribbon or a twine like I'm doing here and tie it to your cone. And to make sure it stays where you want it to, I recommend just gluing it in place. You could use a dot of hot melt glue, but I literally just used the paper glue that I'd already used. And that'll hold it in place nicely. Lovely embellishment. Another thing you can do, of course, is hot melt glue anything to them. So a nice little bead can look good, or you could use some lace that matches some parts of the bridal outfit. You could use ribbons from other decorations, whatever you want to make them tie in to your theme. It'd be great if you'd leave me comments telling me what theme you're using and how you're using these. And good luck with your wedding and enjoy your confetti cones.